And welcome back to the WHHI Daily News. It's great to have Senator Tom Davis joining us once again on our newscast. So Senator Davis, are you ready for this holiday week?
I am. Busy at the office today, but getting ready and looking forward to Thanksgiving.
Good. Well, let's just jump into the bridge update. As everyone knows, we're kind of waiting with bated breath to see kind of what the latest news is on the bridge to Hilton Head. So you want to give us the details?
Sure. I mean, when you're talking about the Hilton Head Bridge and the corridor project, it's always good to bear in mind there are two aspects to it. The first is the financing, and the second is the design and the functionality and how the bridge actually looks. Now, I've been focusing in the last 3 years on the financing piece of it to make sure that we have all the money in place to pay for the project. I've been corresponding with Christy Hall, the Secretary of the Department of Transportation, also with John White, the Chairman of the State Infrastructure Bank. And all the financing is in place. We have $80 million from our local option sales tax and local money. We've got a $120 million grant from the State Infrastructure Bank that is in place. We've also got the SCDOT's commitment to cover the balance of the construction costs. And so just as recently as last week, I spoke with Secretary Hall and Chairman White to make sure all that financing was still in place, and it is.
Good.
The second piece is the functionality and the design piece, and that is, what is the bridge actually going to look like? Where is it going to be located? What are the aesthetics of it? And that's what the community has been engaged in for the past couple of years, is digging down into making this a project that is sympathetic and consistent with what the people of Hilton Head Island want, not just simply something an engineer in Columbia prepares, but something that we're actually going to live with for decades to come. And there's been a lot of great work done in that regard with Beaufort County, the town of Hilton Head. We're working with the DOT, making recommendations and changes. And to the DOT's credit, it has made all the changes that we've recommended so far. The last piece of that is a study that the town of Hilton Head is engaged in that is ongoing right now, involving a professional land use consultant and an engineer as well. And it's anticipated that sometime beginning of next year, there'll be additional recommendations or revisions in hand by the town of Hilton Head. And then I'll do my part as state senator for the area in remitting those requests up to the DOT and trying to get the design plan changed. But at the end of the day, what we're looking at is the town of Hilton Head to give a municipal consent sometime in the first quarter of 2024. Both the SCDOT and the State Infrastructure Bank is aware of that timeline. They're fine with it. I think the town of Hilton Head is in the process of putting themselves in a position to make a decision the first quarter of 2024. So I'm very optimistic about this thing being finalized in the next 3 months.
So, Senator, so many hoops to go through. Your best guess, from your perspective, when do you think the project will truly begin? Construction will begin. Are we talking a year down, 2 years? What is your thought on that?
Well, I think probably what you're likely to see is the next step in the process being the town of Hilton Head Island voting on whether to give its municipal consent. That's the last thing from a local perspective we need to give to the DOT. My understanding is that they're going to get that work product from their consultant in hand during the first quarter of 2024, and they will take a vote and decide whether or not to consent to the project within that time frame. I mean, if that happens, and I fully expect that it will, you're probably looking at the DOT moving to the bid process, issuing requests for proposals for contractors to bid on the project. And you're probably looking at the end of 2024 on getting things going. So I think it's been a long process, but I think, you know what? That's the way the process is supposed to work. The people are supposed to be heard. Citizens' views are supposed to be respected. We don't want this simply to be a product that's prepared by somebody in Columbia. We want this to be something that is a product of Hilton Head, and that's what we're going to end up with.
So hopefully 2025, construction to begin, right?
I think so. I mean, I think you're looking at in 2024 finalizing the permitting process. Then you issue the RFPs to the contractors to actually build the project. And then you move forward from there. And so, but the next step is the town of Hilton Head Island to let the DOT know if it consents to this project. I suspect they'll be in a position the first quarter of 2024 to give that consent, or conversely to withhold that consent unless certain things are done. And then after that, it'll move forward.
Thank you so much, Senator Tom Davis, for your leadership, your service to our community, and we appreciate you very, very much, and the great update for us on the bridge today, and happy Thanksgiving to you, sir.
You as well, ma'am. Thanks for having me.
And that's a wrap for this edition of the WHHI Daily News. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Robyn Zimmerman, and have a safe and healthy holiday. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.